Welcome to the Family Office, planning for the people who matter most.
I want to switch gears, man. As we wrap up last topic, we've been trying to get to this for the last couple of weeks, because we do try to talk about our bodies and our health and our wellness and everything. And there was a couple of studies that came out, and they've been studying this recently, which is about microplastics. And I don't know if you had a chance to look at that, but the whole challenge with microplastics here in California, they actually stopped allowing you to buy plastic bags. And so we used to charge 10 cents per bag. They've stopped all of that. But coming back to the issue of microplastics.
So wait, you can't get plastic bags at all in California anymore? Not
anymore. You can use them, but you can't purchase them. They're not for sale anymore. They're not for purchase. Yeah.
I think that's great, by the way, that you can't purchase them anymore.
I agree.
But then I think a lot of retailers should make paper bags again then.
They do. So they now sell paper bags.
Now that's where I have a problem. Why are we paying for paper bags?
100% agree.
I know what you're talking about. I was in California in April, and I felt like a criminal walking out of Walmart because they don't have bags. None. Like there were no bags. And I felt like a criminal having to walk out of my house, the store like this. And
right.
Yeah. I'm like, this is retarded right here. What's going on right now?
Yeah. Right? What are your thoughts about, no doubt. So do you have any opinions about microplastics? I got a couple of things I want to share, but I wanted to get your thoughts about it.
I just recently watched a documentary. I think I suggested it to you, actually.
You did,
and the microplastic things. I'm still working on it right now, but as I've progressed over the last 8 years now, almost 10 years. What is it? I'm going to be 40. I don't even remember how old I am. I think I'm going to be 45 this July.
Yeah.
It's either 44 or 45. I can't remember.
You're going to be 45, Chris.
Is that it? Okay, yeah, that's right. Because you're 1 year, you're 9 years different.
I'm 9 years older than you.
You're 9 years older. Okay, so I was looking at it, and I was going through this journey, and it starts, with the fitness stuff, and then the food, and all those things, and then I want to say probably the last year now, I've really because you're just like, okay, what else? And the plastics thing, I really started studying the plastics thing, the microplastics things, and down to the underwear. And this is where I started having a conversation because I have 4 boys. And I was like, look, you guys can't wear underwear that has polyester in it anymore because of the microplastics. And I started getting really, really dialed into that stuff and looking at that stuff. And I started making the correlations, and then we look fast forward at this documentary I talk about is about infertility issues. And this doctor, her whole premise is around the microplastics specifically causing, fertility problems in men because of the microplastics. So she had this whole regimen, but the reality is if you watch it, her method, these patients that followed it and did a, microplastics detox, I think 80% of them ended up have kids. So, and then they just recently released this new study where where was it? I can't remember where it was, but 100% of the people have at least a pound of microplastics in their brain or something crazy like that, right? It's absolutely crazy how much plastics we now have. It's in the bottles, it's in the water lines, it's in the food we eat. Even glass bottled water has it. There's this app called Oasis you can download, and because they independently lab test stuff. So. The microplastic thing is a big deal. It's a very big problem. And it's endocrine disruption. So when we look at all the issues that people have today, the big thing is the endocrine disruption, which is the hormones, and the fertility. Those are the 2 biggest things that we're starting to see with the microplastics, and birth rates are declining. So I do think it's a big issue, but there is good news on it. And I don't know if you know the good news, but I'll let you I think you wanted to reply here on that, but there is some good news with it.
Yeah. So just to piggyback on some of your points, there was a study done in 2024 in the New England Journal of Medicine, and they found that many of the patients who suffered from microplastics in their bodies, they had plastic particles in the plaque. And what that did is it created a higher risk of heart attack or stroke. Okay, so that's one. Another study in 2025 is showed that they found microplastics in the human brain, to your point earlier,
Yep.
and the liver and kidney samples, and also most brains showing 7 to 30 times higher concentrations than liver, kidneys, or the liver or kidney samples. So meaning the blood, so the microplastics penetrate the blood-brain barrier, pass through your blood, it gets into your brain. And so I wanted to turn it back over to you. Then after that, I'll wrap up with some things that we can do to stop the bombardment of microplastics into our bodies, because there isn't any study that shows that a pill or some type of vaccination is going to eliminate it. It's a lifestyle choice.
Yeah. I think first and foremost, especially for guys, because you said, I didn't know, I knew it had an issue with cardiovascular, but it makes sense now because, you know, the blood pressure thing is the issue, right? With our insulin resistance and blood pressure, where the scarring and not sleeping enough, right? So there's all these different factors, right? It's like if you've ever read the book, I think it's called Tipping Point. I think it's in Tipping Point or something to that, one of those books. And it talks about aviation disasters, and it talks about disasters in general. And it's usually a series of it's usually between like 5 to 7 events that cascade or compound on each other that create a catastrophic failure. So, you know, when you look at your body or you look at yourself, usually it's okay, your insulin resistance, you have massive hypertension, or you have high blood pressure, and your LDL is bad, or your cholesterol is completely out of whack, right? Or you're not sleeping enough, right? So you add all those together. Did you know that cardiovascular healing can only happen in REM sleep?
Wow.
Did you know that?
I did not.
So, or something to that effect. It's either deep sleep or REM sleep or something. I want to say it's REM sleep.
Okay.
But cardiovascular healing can only happen, or it might be it only happens when you sleep. I want to say it's,
but it's connected to sleeping habits. Okay.
Yeah. And cardiovascular healing means because your vascular system is constantly under stress, right? It's one of the systems. I mean, if you fast, your GI is no longer having to process, right? But your cardiovascular system is always pumping. So when you lose that endophelia function and the nitric oxide production and the ability for the arteries to be very, very relaxed and vascular, they stretch. And when they stretch, you create that scarring, right, in the arteries. And then, of course, the cholesterol comes in to fix it, because if you don't have, everything's built on cholesterol. Everything. If you don't have cholesterol, you're dead, right? You'll die. Everything, muscle, everything is built off cholesterol, right? It's why when you die, birds will eat your eyes first, because they're primarily cholesterol. Most, you know, that's the nice big juicy fat that they want to eat. So if you're not sleeping right, your arteries can't heal right. If you have blood pressure, it's constantly not high blood pressure, but chronic, consistent high blood pressure, where it's like running your engine on full blast, right? All the time. Eventually you're going to throw a rod or burn a piston ring or something, right? So those arteries don't have a chance to go and then get relaxed. So you compound all of those things. The microplastic comes with the freaking cholesterol, gets stuck in that hole, and exacerbates the situation.
Absolutely, it does. So let's talk about some ways to reduce it. So some of them are commonsensical, but I want to talk about some specific ones just in case our audience doesn't know. So one is this is a big one, stop microwaving food in plastic.
Ooh.
So think about all of the to-go containers that are in styrofoam, and then you heat it up and then it melts onto the food and you kind of just scrape it off. You're not scraping off the microplastics that are getting in there. You can't see it. So cook in ceramic or glass when you put it in the microwave. Next, cut back on plastic bottled water, especially when safe other forms of water are available. So a lot of places, have good quality tap water. Unfortunately, here in California, I would not recommend tap water because there's a lot of fluoride and other things in it that I would prefer not to have.
Nasty stuff.
But if you can avoid water in plastic bottles, especially when they're in the car. So if you have plastic bottles, like for example, before I learned about this, I would go hiking. I go hiking on a regular basis, and I would keep plastic water bottles in the car. Just say, okay, I want to make sure I'm hydrated. And so on a summer day, inside of the car can get up to 120, 130, 140 degrees. So imagine all of those little microplastic, the microplastic that I'm consuming when I drink that water. Even if I cool it down, once the plastic is heated up, you still cool it down. You're still ingesting it. So do that. And then also reduce unnecessary single-use plastics. So, microplastics, it says, comes from higher plastics that break down over time. So things like, plastic wrappings, takeout containers. So if you leave them in there over a long period of time, or even like when you go to the store and you put soda in those, and it has wax in it to keep the bottle from getting saturated and having leakage. Well, if you leave the water in
Coffee
there
cups.
Yes, all of those things that leaches into your drinking. So definitely eliminate that. And then be careful about all of the detox claims that are out there. There is no pill. There is no substance you can take. The only way you can reduce plastic is by just eliminating your consumption of it. Like you'll notice, I drink my water in this. Notice you never see me with the plastic cup. Why? Because I want to reduce the amount of exposure that I have to microplastics. So
I've had a stainless steel vessel for probably almost 5 years now. The
There
big
you go.
problem that I have to work on still, though, is I still buy a lot of bottled water just because it's like, it's so
But what's your alternative? Yeah. I mean, I
have
buy
to-
the big 5-gallon ones.
I try to buy it in liters and stuff like that,
Yeah.
But a good way, too, is sauna. If you sauna 3 times a week, it reduces microplastics tremendously in your body. So
Interesting.
sauna is good. Even sun tanning, like real sun tanning. I know a lot of people are scared to go in the sun.
How so? Like, are you saying that process allows your body to
sweating.
eliminate it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's similar to the sauna experience. The sauna release, when you're sweating out that stuff, it forces that stuff out of your body. So,
Okay.
and I'm a big proponent of that, a sauna, and I'm a big proponent of sunbathing. I think it's amazing for you. You should be out in the sun, a morning sun, all of that stuff, morning sun, grounding.
100%. Yeah.
But yeah, sauna is really good for especially for men.
Okay.
For
Okay.
relieving microplastics. In fact,
My thing is abstinence. Try to avoid it. But if we all have it.
ultimately
So-
take away, right? Take away. I don't want to have to do as much therapy. I'm going to look it up for you right now. Microplastics. Sauna for microplastics. Saw microplastics. Yeah. So, there's a lot of back and forth on it. It's very popular amongst.
Interesting.
In fact, what is it? Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson came out. He's a big proponent of sauna for microplastics, and he actually does a lot of study. If you've ever looked at his stuff, he does a lot of study behind it. So either way, sauna is good for you, anyways. But yeah,
100%. I
glass containers. I threw away all the black ones, especially only glass containers. No more rotisserie chicken. The black bag from Costco anymore. Sorry, Len. I know that's a favorite of yours, but I mean, But anyways, yeah, be mindful about obviously what you're using, and
Absolutely.
look, get rid of this Teflon pans. Look, stainless steel is easy to cook with. You just have to preheat it right. You get the
put the
cast
right
iron.
oils in there. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're sensitive to iron, cast iron, maybe don't use it all the time, but just these things that you can be mindful about. I call it the 1980s rule. I mean, just kind of think about the way it was in the 1980s.
Right.
And maybe, and while it wasn't all the way safe, maybe you ought to call it the 1960s rule. But then again, there was a lot of things that were bad. We had lead paint. So.
Right, exactly. There's
So,
always something. But your point is, the smarter we become, we need to
Take away.
adjust and take away, go back, take the good out and take the bad out as well. Man, Chris, as always, brother, it's always good to have these conversations with you. And only time will tell to see which one of us ultimately ends up being right. We will see, man.
One more week. So far, you're down. So if it's a soccer match, I'm 1 and you're 0 right now. So just so you know.
All right. Sounds good, man. Well, we will see what happens by the time next Monday rolls around.
When oil's at 60 or 55, what do you think? Is it going to be 60 or $55
by this time? By this
will
time,
you surrender
next week?
then? Will you surrender then and go, Chris?
When I see Iran doing what they say they're going to do, and they continue to have the ceasefire, I'll surrender. I don't think that's going to happen. But hey, man, I'm a person who's after truth, man. I'm not trying to be right.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. It's not about being right. It's about being effective.
That's it, man. That's it. That's it, man.
If you like, subscribe, comment. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Conversation has given you clarity on your next steps. Please share this episode with someone who's walking the same path. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss future episodes. And remember, planning ahead isn't just prudent, it's an act of care. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Family Office.